Hi, my name is Farley Malorrus. Today is April 18th, 2014 at 8:38 p.m. in Los Angeles. I want to discuss aliens, UFOs, and extraterrestrials to help try to clear the air and get more clarity as to what is going on with all of this stuff. If you are of a specific religious nature, extremely conservative, or don't wish to watch or hear any of this, I suggest you stop watching right now. But if you are of an open mind, it's okay for you to believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, because our Judaism or any Muslim faith or whatever, because I firmly believe that God does exist. I want to make that clear. And that our religion or our culture was passed down to us from an extraterrestrial or an extra-dimensional nature. Okay, the first thing I want to make clear is that from my experience, there are probably many, many different species and varieties of beings that visit Earth and have been visiting Earth for the last 4 billion years. Okay, and to be extremely hypothetical and far-fetched, our entire realm could be an invention or a creation of a super conscious extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional race. Okay, but once again, I still do believe that at the end of that, behind that, that there is a God, there is a God consciousness or a spirit that controls everything and everyone. So I don't want you to ever lose faith during this presentation, no matter what you want to believe. In my personal experience, I have discovered 17 species of aliens, extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional beings that live at various frequencies, most of which are not common on Earth. In any word, they can see us like looking at us through a microscope, but we can't see them. And because Earth is what is called stop time, and most extraterrestrial beings or interdimensional beings that would visit Earth live in what's called real time, then the Earth realm or the third dimension would appear to be in slow motion to them. It's kind of like they did a Star Trek once, where all the characters on Star Trek were frozen while the extraterrestrials ran around because their frequency was like 1,000 times faster than humans. Well, that's extremely accurate. You know, human beings, let me make this clear. Major point of this presentation is that human beings are extremely naive to think that we're alone in the multiverse. Okay? Extremely. I'm not going to say we're stupid or that we're dumbasses or whatever, but the governments of the world that understand the interdimensional and extraterrestrial activities on this planet treat us like we're kids, children. Okay? And some of the species, the alien species and the interdimensional, not all of them are from outer space. Okay? A lot of these beings would come from different realms, like parallel Earths or parallel universes that have reached a point in their evolution, their consciousness. It's kind of like if human beings are at 10 or 15% of brain capacity, there's a reason for it. It's like for whatever reason we were structured, because I do believe that it's a possibility that through the faith of God or deliverance or to extend life, whatever, that somehow we might have been kind of bioengineered by species, okay, human hybrid types of extreme evolution that intentionally injected in our DNA restrictions, okay, that prevent us from being as aware and godlike as they are. Now, I want this to sit in for a second and understand what we're dealing with in these beings. Now, make one thing clear. 1948 is when Roswell happened, and it did happen. But this has been going on for billions of years. But in 1948, they saw our species as mature enough to receive technology. And you'll notice how far we've gone technologically since my birthday in 1948 to now 2014. It's, except for the fact we're not doing space travel to other planets, we have been to the moon, we do have supercomputers, we do have all this technology, this media that we communicate with each other regularly. And don't you think for 1 second that this came from us. Because imagine for a second that you're surrounded by 100 people all the time that you can't see. Okay? Some discarnate souls, maybe spirits, some interdimensional beings of such a higher nature, a higher frequency, where they can literally vibrate their molecules or widen their molecules just a bit, so everything in their universe would appear invisible to us. You see, and that's exactly how naive humans are, and how the government wishes to treat us, as if the governments are smart enough to handle this consciousness. No. The fact that we still have nuclear weapons on this planet is the number one reason which makes us what I would call a retard species. Because most species would not have, of intelligent life, would not have the capabilities of exterminating themselves as humans do. So human beings on this planet are looked upon by whatever species visit us from other dimensions, or outer space, if you will, are such a higher evolution consciously. It's almost like their relationship to God is intimate, where they know the God force. They're connected to the Spirit of Christ or whatever, you see, and they don't need to go through being saved or accepting or this and that, because they're clear, you see. And I kind of feel that being on Earth, that human beings are in a challenge state, a testing ground, a proving ground, where this planet was created and these scenarios were created, and our souls are used to come into these bodies to live out these karmas, to see if we have the potential to evolve beyond this level, see, to a higher frequency. You understand? Now, I am lucky, I'm not bragging, that I can understand this sort of thing, because frankly, my radio show and my philosophy of astrology, metaphysics, and spirituality and Christ consciousness is not the sort of thing that everyone's going to relate to. Only people of an extremely high consciousness, like in the upper 2%. So let's say if I have 500 Facebook friends, I might only get 2% of that, which is not going to be a lot. It's going to be like maybe 10 or 20 people are going to watch this and go, Farley, like, wow, because they're going to hear it and it's going to seem so real and so valid that they're not going to understand that when someone sees a UFO, and the reason why it disappears is because they're at a different vibration than us. And they're not necessarily going to another galaxy. They could be going through a portal to a parallel universe. Einstein's theory of the Einstein-Rosengarten bridge, the wormhole theory, which, there was several shows that were made, TV shows and such, that were made about that too, science fiction, alternate Earths and such, alternate Farleys or whatever. But with all my faith and belief in the Lord, I truly believe that we are not only not alone in this world, we're not alone in the multiverse. The multiverse is a conscious energy of love and sometimes hate, of good and evil, with a polarity, okay, a positive and a negative, a male and a female energy, and a frequency that can be very, very loving and very, very powerful and valid, or very, very negative and hateful and evil. The doubters and the ones, the stubborns and the, and then the open-minded ones and the blessed. Okay? So, I choose to keep an open mind. And I understand that not only are we being visited constantly, but that our entire society has been infiltrated, for better or for worse. So far, we're still here. So if they wanted us dead, then I think they would have done it. The fact that there's nuclear weapons on the planet, I might think, okay, there might be some species that are dark, but once again, I must reiterate that this isn't like a science fiction thing. You couldn't create a dimensional portal unless your consciousness, your frequency was like almost like a Christ-like consciousness. We call it Christ consciousness in the Course of Miracles, that if you are able to feel people and feel your connection to the universe and feel the love in all things and feel your connectedness to all things, that you're at like a Christ conscious level, kind of like where Jesus was when he was alive, okay? And these aliens, in order to master the technology to get to Earth, to find our Earth, would have to have like 10 times or 5 times the brain capacity of us, and maybe much bigger heads too. There's pictures of gray aliens and reptile aliens, and that's true. Yes, it is. I believe there's insectoids, reptoids, human hybrids, and all kinds of things that you've seen in the movies and such throughout time, but more lately. And the proof of this is 1948. 1948, right around after when the nuclear missiles really went into full production, the Korean War, all these wars are war games. Let me make that clear. The aircraft carriers we build, the bombers we build, the stealth technology, the drone technology, the clone technology, the chips and all the money. If you think human beings did this, and if someone's out there with a patent or whatever, that's great. But there might have been somebody next to them when they did it, feeding into their brain exactly how to do it. If you know what I'm getting, there has been some interference. Why? Because in the couple of million years that human beings have walked around here since Neanderthals, we didn't do that. You know, people say, well, Farley, technology is about the age of Aquarius. Well, that's true. Aquarius does mean technology, and it's taken us 24,000 years to get here. But there was another age of Aquarius 24,000 years ago and 24,000 years before then. And some people say that Atlantis was a high-tech civilization that existed 50, 60,000 years ago on Earth. But there's no trace of that. Okay, no record of that. Well, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. The reason why I wanted to deliver this topic to you was because I'm tired of the BS, and they never have any proof, and they always think we're dumb. You know, please don't be dumb. You know, we have company on Earth. I'm sorry to say this to you, but there really isn't much privacy. Because if there are beings that can walk through walls and such, and they can, if they can dissolve their molecules so we can't see them, you don't think they can walk through these dense walls? No problem. And, you know, so there's an explanation for your ghosts, okay? There's an explanation for all kinds of mysterious things that have happened in the world. Maybe the disappearance of that plane with all the people. Maybe the weather. Maybe all these contrails that they're dropping all over the cities. You know, maybe the reason why there's so many genetically modified organisms in our food, in our fluorine and fluoride and chlorine in our water. You know, maybe the whole planet's being terraformed. Not sure. But I know one thing. Our souls have come here for a reason. This is a testing ground, and we're all here to make a choice. For God and good and love, or for hate and murder and death and evil. It's a simple choice. You're either honest with yourself in the world and loving with yourself in the world and humble in your path to raise your frequency up so when you die, your soul can go beyond this body, which is a host, into another realm of existence, another body, perhaps. Hopefully not a lower life form, because I do believe that you can devolve your human energy and then your soul will only qualify for maybe a pig or a cow, and you come back as bacon or steak, especially if you ate that all your life. Of course, that's what the Indians, you know, the Hindus believe, that the cow is sacred because if you eat meat, that you might come back as one, and there's human spirits in there. They believe that, and so do I. But anyway, okay, so don't be frightened of this, because God is your lead. You know, the love in your heart is your shield, okay? And your confidence and courage that you are protected and safe with the love you have. Obviously, it's not a good idea to go out and get drunk all the time, because you lose control, and then anybody can do anything to you at any time. You hear about these stories about abductions. All right, I do believe that that has happened. If certain species of beings that port into the realm, even if they have Christ consciousness, they still might look at us as less than dogs or cats. So do we experiment on dogs and cats? All the time. Monkeys, rats, mice, guinea pigs? Sure. So why would it be beyond a super species of being to experiment on us to try to find a cure for their problems? You see? So I'm just trying to be logical here. I'm not trying to scare anyone here, but I also wanted to present this and produce this to give you some truisms about UFOs, extraterrestrial beings, species, and beings from interdimensions that have been visiting Earth from its inception. All right? And once again, I can be contacted at 310-415-9222 if anyone has any questions. My email is bestactor@aol.com, bestactor, subject Farley UFO. And my Facebook, of course, is Facebook.com/Farley.Malorrus. Facebook.com/Farley.Malorrus. I thank you for watching. Feel free to share this. It's copyright Farley M. Malorrus, 2014. All rights reserved, but free to share anywhere you like. Thanks for listening, and that is my belief on what's going on with aliens, extraterrestrials, and UFOs. Of course, there's much more to discuss, much more to talk about and channel about this issue, because obviously it has everything to do with life. And why should we go through life and ignore reality? Because basically, humans are not capable of fully embracing what really exists. Let's face it, 10 to 15% of your brain capacity when you're drunk, even less. They look at us like we're chimpanzees. Remember that. And then you might not see them as evil, but you might see where we fit in the food chain. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and know you are blessed. And thanks for watching.